Hello, I am Maham Zehra and my group members are Bakhtavar Shafkat and Shiza Khalimi. We are here to present our analysis of hate crimes in the US. A hate crime is basically a criminal offense against a person or property motivated in whole or in part by an offender's bias against a race, religion, disability, sexual orientation, ethnicity, gender, or gender identity. Incidents of such type have been on the rise in the US, including but not limited to vandalism, intimidation, assault, and murder. So we decided to analyze the growth, impact, and correlation of hate crimes with other real-world elements such as votes and terrorism. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has been collecting data related to hate crimes since the 1990s. This is the dataset that we use for our project. Moreover, we also used a dataset on global terrorism that we found on Kaggle and a dataset for the results of US elections that we found on data.world.com.
The first question we want to address is how have hate crimes changed in the span of 2013 to 2017? More specifically, have the hate crimes against Muslims increased in the last 5 years in USA? And if so, then who are the offenders? That is, what race do they belong to generally? The data set that we have used contains the number of crimes committed based on grounds of racial, religion, sexual orientation, and gender differences, among other things. Since our purpose is to analyze hate crimes due to religious discrimination, for the sake of simplicity, other than the column showing the hate crimes against Muslims and other religions, all the other columns were dropped. This was done in order to understand the trend of anti-Muslim hate crimes in 5 years, that is 2013 to 2017, and the potential offenders who were responsible for such acts. After categorizing this data, we have tried to generate some graphs and charts to understand the overall trend. In the above heat map and line graph, it can be seen that the hate crimes against American Jews and American Muslims are at an all-time high as compared with other religions in America. The offenses have ranged from harassment to assault to homicide. After this, in order to see the trend of anti-Muslim crimes, we have generated these graphs. These graphs show that the hate crimes against Muslims spiked in the year 2016. About 30% of all the hate crimes against Muslims from the year 2013 to 2017 were committed in the year 2016. It can also be seen that the hate crimes were at their lowest in 2013 and have only accelerated up till the year 2016. However, there has been a slight decrease in anti-Muslim hate crimes in the year 2017, making it the second highest percentage out of all the years. Lastly, for this question, we wanted to analyze our data offender-wise, for which we generated these graphs, which show the association between the race and the type of offenders of hate crime against Muslims. It can be seen that the white people comprise of the largest percentage of offenders, that is about a 30% of all hate crimes against Muslims in the year 2013 to 2017, which clearly states that Islam is one of the most stigmatized religion, especially among the white people.
Having seen Trump's 2016 election campaigns and his promise of building a big, beautiful wall, one would assume that there might be a huge correlation between hate crimes against minorities and Trump voters. So, in the second question, after understanding our data, we analyzed it and found a very low correlation between hate crimes and Trump votes, unlike expectations. This intrigued us, and so we did some external research and found out there are 5 types of Trump voters, only 3/5 of them having an issue with immigrants. You can find the research paper link in our report. We use techniques like group by, merge, correlation, heat map to better analyze and present the results. We also saw a huge increase in hate crimes after Trump's rule began through a line graph.
Okay, next we want to see the correlation between hate crimes in the US against Muslims and terrorist activities done by militant Islamic groups. So for this, we filtered out global terrorism dataset to show data only from Islamic militant groups. After that, we cleaned the data further so that it will now contain terrorism-related activities only in Western countries and other parts of the world where such acts were less common. The results from all datasets were combined into a single data frame that would represent total number of anti-Muslim hate crimes, terrorist acts in the West, and terrorist acts in the USA from 2013 to 2017. By studying the correlation coefficients, scatterplot matrix, and heat map, we can conclude that there is a very high correlation of 0.9 between hate crimes against Muslims in the US and terrorist activities in the US and in the West. This can be explained by the fact that such incidents incite people to lash out against those who might seem similar to those who commit such terrorist acts. Moving on to the dashboard, we have elements from all three parts of our project. As you can see, we have a pie chart to show the base of the offenders of hate crimes against Muslims. We have this graph to compare hate crimes against all religions, and we can also analyze them by year. Here we can see that the correlation between hate crimes against Muslims and terrorism in the West and in the USA from 2013 to 2017. Also, we have this map to show how many countries have been affected by terrorism and we can make it specific to the USA. Lastly, we have this map and this chart showing that just because Trump got elected from a state doesn't mean that there will be more hate crimes there. For example, in Florida, where Trump got many votes but hate crimes are relatively less, whereas in Massachusetts, hate crimes are high but Trump didn't get a lot of votes. Alright, that's all we have. Thank you so much.